TikTok is an app that is coming out of the dragon's belly, literally. And the government of China has complete control over the information of every single user, and they can manipulate the algorithms to have this sort of response that they want from populations. And this is dangerous, knowing that China is a very evil nation.
Do you know which country made TikTok? China. Do you know that China controls the algorithm of what you see? Do you know this? If you're in America and you open up TikTok, if you're in Britain and you open up TikTok, there is a specific algorithm to reach you that is not in China. If you're in China and you open up TikTok, what the Chinese government wants you to receive as youth, as people using TikTok, are people who are doing good things, achievements, youth making social enterprise, youth becoming successful in math competitions, youth becoming masters of karate, youth doing something with their life, and you are rewarded. That algorithm is that the Chinese government makes you see positive things for social development. Did you know here and in the United States, China, send you a different algorithm? Do you know what they send you? All the nonsense that you see. They want you to see girls dancing, boys and girls dancing with each other, pranks upon your parents, pranks upon people. How many pranks do you see? Yeah, I'm not saying it's not funny. Some of them are downright hilarious. But if you want to destroy a nation, destroy a generation, you make them in their mind be rewarded with the dopamine for thinking stupid things are good, thinking that this is what you're supposed to grow up doing. A large proportion of people grow up thinking that this is what life is about.
People, we have to open our eyes and see what's happening and see how the devil is using different populations and different people to get his evil agenda done, and it's been done at the cost of our children mostly, and many adults are even addicted to these apps, more so the children. We have to save our children, and TikTok is unsafe, and this video is going to show in very detailed fashion how TikTok is manipulating or manipulative. Please watch aspects of this video. I will post the link in the description below.
Senator for Florida. Back in 2019, I believe April 2019, if not the first, I must have been one of the first people to call for the company TikTok to be banned in the United States. So it's been a while now. It's not something I just came up with the other day. It's not just the data. What really makes TikTok so effective is that it has an algorithm that uses artificial intelligence to combine all of this data and your usage. And what that does is that basically that algorithm, it knows you better than you know yourself. It knows the videos you're going to like before you even know you're going to like them. It's not just that there's a Chinese company. They own and they operate the heart and soul of TikTok. The recommender engine, the algorithm, that belongs to ByteDance. And in order for this to work, in order for TikTok to work, ByteDance has to have access to the data. First of all, there is no such thing as a private company in China, not in the way we think of a private company. Let me explain why. In China, number one, they have a law called the National Intelligence Law. And the National Intelligence Law of China requires, doesn't ask for, doesn't say we can go to court and require you to do this. No, it automatically requires. The National Intelligence Law of China requires every single Chinese company, that includes ByteDance, to do whatever the government of China tells them to do. China has another law. It's called the Data Security Law. And what that law says is that every tech company in China, like ByteDance, tech company in China, they have to hand over to the government whatever user information, whatever information they want. They have to do it by law. That's a big difference between them and these other companies. And under Chinese law, if the government of China tells ByteDance, the owner of TikTok, to use the algorithm a certain way, they have to do it. And so it doesn't matter where you store the data. If ByteDance owns the algorithm, they have to have access to the data. And if they have access to the data, the Chinese government has access to the data whenever they want. This is not about the content of the videos. What this is about is the existence of a company that is related to an important government interest. What is that government interest? It's not just a substantial government interest. It is the most important government interest that we have, the national security of our country. And preventing our country from being paralyzed, from acting in its national security interest, is the most compelling and important government interest one can imagine. This is not just theoretical. We've actually seen TikTok be used to drive messages and to undermine opponents. It was used to spread pro-Russian messages during the invasion of Ukraine. It's been used to suppress videos talking about Tiananmen Square, the genocide of Uyghur Muslims in China. It's already being used to censor all kinds of, in fact, it was used to control content and limit content about our elections in this country in 2022. It goes more, I can go further than that. ByteDance has already been used. ByteDance China has already been used to collect data on specific reporters whose stories ByteDance didn't like. So they used it to track the location of these reporters. Where are they? Who are they talking to? And in fact, here in America, TikTok was caught spying on American journalists who were writing stories that TikTok didn't like. And TikTok denied it. It's not true, it's a lie. And then they had to admit it. Whether we like it or not, we are in a near-peer competition and in many ways a conflict with China for global influence, for the direction of the world. Two very different views of the planet. With the government of China, by the way. Because I always hear these people talk about, we have no problem. The Chinese people are the #1 victims of the Chinese Communist Party on the planet. The #1 victims of the Chinese Communist Party are the Chinese people. But their government is very simple, guys. They want to be the world's most powerful country, and they want to do it at our expense. And the consequences of that is that the world's most powerful country will be a nation that puts Uyghur Muslims in death camps, that is trying to destroy Tibetan culture, that had no problem massacring their own people in Tiananmen Square, that as we speak right now are probably arming the Russians to commit these atrocities in Ukraine, that don't believe in any of the things that we are here debating about free speech and the like. And we have operating in our country an app, the fastest growing app, a social media app that has the most detailed personal data on over 100 million American users and growing, and are turning over the power for one day for them to use it to divide us, to paralyze us, to confuse us, to turn us against each other. Think of the damage that Russia did by putting bots, fake accounts on Twitter, and buying ads on Facebook. Can you imagine if Russia actually owned Facebook or Twitter? Not put ads, not put bots, actually controlled those companies, the damage it would have done to this country? Now imagine that in a country with an economy 50 times the size and 100 times more capability, because that's what we're facing here. It's not a game, and we should take it seriously. And if there is a way to deal with this that doesn't involve a ban or something drastic, I've always been open to that, but it doesn't exist because of the way this company is structured, and we better take it seriously.